So today we're going to compare two cities. We will compare Belgrade of Serbia and we will compare Seoul of South Korea. Now Seoul is much wealthier. South Korea is just a much wealthier country, and Seoul has about 10 million people with a metro of a little over 25 million, while Belgrade is a much smaller city of about 1.35 million people. So here we have Belgrade, and here we have Seoul. Okay, so first we'll take a look at Belgrade, and what we see a lot of people on the streets, and well, I see a lot of stores, and these stores have English names for a lot of them, a lot of foreign names. We have the Cyrillic version and the Latin version of Serbian, because they used both alphabets. We have a lot of foreign cars, as most cars are most likely German also. And we have this building which looks like could be a very nice looking building, but it has these ugly air conditioners on the outside. Also, this looks like would be a nice historical building, but they also mounted these ugly air conditioners here, or they could have mounted them, for example, on the roof. We also have lots of graffiti everywhere, and this looks like it's brick or some type of art. Okay, so this is kind of what Belgrade looks like. And then we'll take a look at Seoul, and I just picked the random places. And when we look at Seoul, there's no graffiti anywhere. It just looks much cleaner. Although there's some buildings that don't look very well either. They have these ugly electrical poles with these wires going all over the place. And most of their cars are South Korean. Like they have these Hyundai trucks, Hyundai cars. This looks like a Hyundai. This is also probably some type of Korean. So here's also some type of car, most likely a Korean car. So they also have some English type words here, but most of it is Korean. So it seems just that Koreans are a lot more patriotic. They don't write graffiti over their walls. Their teenagers don't try and destroy the city with graffiti. They have some older architecture also, but you know, they don't have these ugly air conditioners everywhere. Well, they do have one here, it looks like. They also have ads in all types of places. And then let's pick a different spot of Serbia now. We'll pick right there. It looks like some type of highway. Yeah, so it seems like all these cars are foreign cars. They don't seem to value anything that is much Serbian. Well, they probably have good food though. Even here, look, there's a Samsung building, which is Samsung is a South Korean company. So I know they had produced Serbian cars like the Yugo that used to be sold in the U.S. I'm not sure if they still do. Now, one positive thing about Serbia is that it seems like they have a lot more room. While we look at so a lot of people are like living on top of each other, so that's what I like about Serbia. Now let's pick a different spot of Serbia. I mean, not Serbia, but South Korea. Let's pick like this area here. So I actually like the architecture in Serbia much better. But the thing I don't like about Serbia is that see, look at all these large buildings. Everyone lives like in one area. It's very crowded, but it's very clean. Like to me, I like Serbia's architecture much better. Like this looks really nice to me. Let's pick another. But look at all this graffiti everywhere. Okay, let's pick another place. This place right here. Okay, and I wanted to show everyone this building right here. Like, to me, this is a very nice building. It has really nice architecture, something you don't find in South Korea. In South Korea, there's a lot of like these modern type buildings. I don't really see these nice historical buildings like this one, and it's like unique. But instead of showing it off, it's covered up. It has like this big ad on it, and it seems like a lot of buildings in Serbia have these ads where they cover up half or all the building, and so it seems like they're just not proud of this building, or they think it's ugly. While I think it's really nice looking. So that's another thing I don't really like about Serbia, is that they cover things up with either graffiti or these ads. So let's check another place of South Korea. We'll go over here, the Myeongdong or Donam-dong. So like I say, South Korea is very crowded. But even though there's so many people here, it just seems like much cleaner, and like it seems like a safe city because, well, it seems clean and there's no graffiti anywhere. Now let's pick another area. Go over here. This looks a little more messy, but it looks like it's more like a flea market here. So it just seems like the South Koreans are prouder of what they have. I mean, they drive their own cars. They don't put graffiti on their buildings. They keep their streets clean. They're much more patriotic, and that's why it seems that they're much wealthier. While the Serbians, they have a lot, and it has a lot of potential. But, you know, there's graffiti all over the place. The buildings are covered up with ads instead of showing them off. Maybe they should paint the building nicely instead of, you know, putting an ad on it. Let's pick a place right here. So this looks like a more residential area, but still, you know, there's graffiti here, and even there's like this, seems like some type of school here, and then you've got all this bad-looking graffiti everywhere. So just because people are less wealthy doesn't mean that, you know, they should have graffiti everywhere, or they should cover up all their buildings. This isn't the best place, but I still whether if I had the chance of picking where I want to live, whether I want to live in South Korea or whether I would want to live in Belgrade, Serbia, I would pick Belgrade, Serbia, just because I think I would blend in much better. And they have some really nice areas, like this area is really nice. But like I said, I would still rather live in Serbia than well, South Korea, just because I'm not Asian, and I would just fit a lot better in here, and there's a lot more room everywhere. And Serbia has a lot of potential, from what I can see. This is a nice building also. It would just get renovated, just get painted, maybe put in some new windows, get rid of this rust, and it would look really nice. And I'm not saying this because I am not Serbian. I had a Serbian friend, but I have nothing to do with Serbia, and Google Maps is the only thing I know about Serbia. It's just going through Google Maps. So in the comments, you know, just tell me. You could comment on why, you know, Serbia has all this graffiti, and why, you know, these buildings are not painted. I mean, paint is not that expensive. I mean, this building is really it's like an art form. It's like a modern building among these older type of buildings. I mean, yeah, you can tell me why you know, Serbians prefer imported things, and why do South Koreans, you know, purchase everything, you know, pretty much from South Korea. I remember when South Korean cars were starting to sell here in the US about 20 years ago, they were considered terrible cars. But eventually they developed into really good cars, as South Koreans did not give up on developing, you know, cars, and they tried really hard. They worked hard, and, you know, they now make good cars, and, you know, they have good companies like Samsung. Wow, you know, I know that Serbia had the Yugo, but I'm not really sure what happened with the Yugo. they still make the Ego or not. So even here, like in the middle of nowhere, there's no graffiti anywhere. Well, here, you know, it's really a nice open area, but I bet if I go here, there'll be some graffiti somewhere around here. And they got this big letters here that kind of destroyed the building. And this would be a nice building also. It was painted and just put in some new windows. Even these buildings would look nice. They would be just renovated. Yeah. Oh, here's some graffiti right there. Oh, that's an ugly car. And even these lampposts can be painted. But yeah, so it looks like, you know, the problem with Serbia is that, you know, they're just not as patriotic as the South Koreans, and that's why it's just not as wealthy as South Korea, in my opinion. And this looks like a nice classic car also. I like this car. Even though it's older, like, I wouldn't mind having a car like this. It looks cool. You know? Looks like a school. It's a nice school. Of course, I can't read this because it's Cyrillic, but yeah, some areas are really nice here. It's like a bus. Most of the cars look used. Again, these ugly air conditioners right in front of the building. You know, I mean, it would be too expensive to put them anywhere else, but it just doesn't look nice. Oh, here's a smart car. Pizza. And here's South Korea again. Here's an older building too. Oh, one downside of South Korea is that they have these ugly electrical poles. Okay, so that's my comparison of Serbia and South Korea.